Hey guys, Damon here. Are you paralyzed with the fear of picking up the phone and calling home sellers? Maybe you're not sure what to say, or you think that you have to memorize a script word for word. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can be more fluid on the phone with home sellers so you can stop wasting time, so you can start closing more deals, and so you can make a lot more money. So let's get going. In my last video, I shared with you 5 mistakes to avoid when calling home sellers. I mentioned about having a structured sales system that you can follow on each and every call, so you don't have to worry about using a script and following it to a T. So today I wanted to go over that with you step by step so you can have a system that you can follow on each and every call so you can be more fluid and not have to worry about having a script that you have to follow. The first step of a structured system is to set an upfront agreement with the seller. What is an upfront agreement, you may ask? It sets the stage at the beginning of the call, like who you are, what will happen, how long it will take, and that it's okay for them to tell you no. Doing this relieves the stress on the call. If they don't like your offer, they're okay to tell you no. And if you don't like the deal, you're okay to tell them no. Here's an example of how that might sound. I'm looking for a property in that area. Do you mind if I ask you a couple quick questions to see if it'd be something I'd be interested in buying today? And if not, you can tell me no. You just want to set the rules for the call up front, and the upfront agreement does just that. The second step is to begin qualifying the seller to see if we can even do business with them today, in the future, or never do business with them at all. The first part of qualifying a seller is for their motivation or their underlying reasons for selling. Every seller is selling for a reason. It could be a big reason with lots of emotion, or it can be a small reason and no emotions at all. All sellers are either trying to escape a pain or get to a pleasure. A pain could be maybe a job loss, and if they don't get the home sold, they're going to lose it. They can't afford to make the payments anymore. A pleasure could be that they're just looking to sell so they can move and be closer to their grandkids. They want to go somewhere else. An example way for you to find this out is, I saw the pictures online. I love the home. Why on earth would you ever want to sell such a beautiful home? You just want to find their level of motivation. Where are they at on a scale of 1 to 10? You're looking for someone that's maybe around a 7 or higher in motivation. This is one of the most important parts to remember. If they have no motivation, then you're going to have a tough time creating a deal with them. The second part is to qualify the seller for the time frame that they need to sell in. Do they need to sell last week, or can they wait 6 to 9 months looking for the highest price possible? We don't want to waste our time with a seller who has all the time in the world. They may get motivated as time goes on, but chasing them today is an absolute waste of your time. To do this, you can say something like, I'm looking for a property that I can buy fairly soon. You're not looking to sell quickly, are you? So we're looking for someone that needs to sell quickly, and we're going to follow up with the ones that need weeks or months to decide. The third part is to qualify the seller for the money that they need in this deal. Are they looking for all cash? Would they be open to some sort of creative financing? Do they need money down? And if so, how much do they need down? You're wanting to see if you can either get a great deal that's below market price or get some sort of creative terms with the seller, such as lease purchase or owner financing. The fourth part is to qualify the seller to find out all of the decision makers that need to be involved before a sale could move forward. Do they need to talk to their spouse? Do they need to talk to their parents or anyone else? Many times a seller will say that they need to talk to someone as an objection, but we're just testing the waters here to see if we can do business quickly or if we have to have the whole family involved in the decision. To do this, you can say something like, if I get you an offer today, is there anyone else that you need to talk to make a decision on this? The third step is where we summarize the problem and present our offer to the seller. Now, it's best to only move to this step if all of the decision makers are present and the seller has a high level of motivation. If all of the decision makers aren't present, then it's best to set up a time that you can call them back or set up a time that you can meet and then present your offer. On this step, we want to summarize all that the seller told us. We want to take into account everything that we discussed while qualifying the seller, and we want to present our offer that addresses all of the problems, the pains, and the pleasures of the seller. For example, if the seller needs to move, but they need full price and they can't afford 2 payments, then you can maybe present some sort of creative terms to them. An example way to say this is, Mr. Seller, you told me that you need to sell quickly and move for a job transfer, but you can't afford two payments. Is that about right? The seller will then say, yes, that's right. Then you can start to present your offer to them and show how it can solve their problem. The fourth step is to close the seller. If the seller likes your offer, you don't want to sound like a pushy investor that's desperate for a deal. That's going to make the seller back away. You want them to come to their own conclusion on what they want to do, not you pressuring them. For example, you say, Mr. Seller, you said you like the offer and it meets your time frame. Where do we go from here? Let them tell you what they want to do next. Let's say the seller says, well, I guess we move forward now. At this point, the average investor thinks that this deal is done, but you have to listen very carefully because the seller used a wishy washy word by saying, I guess. You want a firm answer, so you want to re verify with the seller. You guess or you know. Many deals never happen because our ears hear something that never happened when the seller uses non committing words, so always listen carefully. And if the seller says that they need a day to think it over, you can give them an offer with a time frame to respond by, or that offer is off the table. So there you have it, a system that you can use on your calls instead of having to follow a script to a T. Yes, you can use some bullet point questions along the way and ask questions in certain ways, but you always want to be fluid because the seller is never following the script that you're using. And remember, you also don't want to slam them with one question after another. You want to have a friendly conversation and get them talking about their home and their situation, all while being mindful of the system to qualify the seller. Can you master this overnight? I would be lying if I said yes, but no, it does take time. But with practice and role playing, you can master sales so you can get more deals and you can make a whole lot more money in real estate. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I hope you learned something. If you did, click the like button below, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.